stains on my apron. I've got a few stains over there. They used to be really dark. Do you know how I got most of those out? I soaked them in this. This is urine. I pee-peed for a while, and it didn't work because I drink too much water, so I had my daughter do it because she doesn't drink any water, and it came out this nice color. So you take a pan and you pour all that in there and you put this in here and you let it soak, just like it was in Clorox or something. And then they do the next step, which was called bucking. And bucking was actually, you take the pan, you put nothing in it, you put your clean water on top of this, and then you take a rag, and you put the rag on top of this, and you go like that, and then you take ashes from the fire and some fat, whatever you had, whether it be bacon from the morning or you made some beef and you had some fat left over, and you mix that and you put it all in here and then you pour hot water on top. And what that did was it made like lye. So if you mix, if you go camping sometime and you want to clean your dishes and stuff, if you fried some bacon, keep the bacon grease in there, put some ashes from the fire and mix it up, you've got lye soap. It's a very rudimentary lye soap, and it's only good for your dishes and stuff like that. This was actually made for me by a woman who does the old way of doing it. So after that was done, you take it out of here, and you still have some stains. So what you do is you take your soap, and then the thought was that if you take this, now I usually have what's called a bat or a battledore, and it's a bat and it's flatter and stuff, but because I'm following the camp, I borrowed this from the cook because that's one less thing I have to carry. And she'll let me borrow this when she's not using it. So I asked her, she was like, yeah. So now you just beat the clothes. And what happens is it spreads the water out and it takes the dirt with it. And it really does work. And it's very good if you're upset with your husband. You just smack it to death. Then after that was done, they'd rinse it. And then the best thing to do is that if that were an apple tree or something, you hang it in the apple tree, their thought was the more fragrant the plant was, your clothes would smell better. And it really does. The other thing is, if it's a nice sunny day outside, I'll put it on the grass. You know why? What does grass release? What do plants release? Oxygen. They release oxygen, right? What better than the sun and oxygen, OxyClean? And it works great. Everything that's on the ground, you pick it up, it's white. It's amazing. And that's what they did. And they'd wait for it to dry. On to the next soldier's stuff. Of course, I'm doing my own laundry today. Men did not wear shifts.
So the musket is at what they call a half-cock position. Okay, so what you would do is you would take a cartridge out of your cartridge box. You'd rip the top off. You'd pour some powder down in the pan here, and you would close this prison. Okay, and then we put this little safety mechanism on here called the hammer stall. Kind of keeps this from hitting it and igniting sparks by accident. So this flint, when it's pulled back all the way, will hit this and ignite sparks that set this powder in the pan off. There's a little hole here in the musket, and when the sparks hit it, it hits the powder and ignites all the powder that's in the barrel too.
And ignite means it catches on fire,
yeah.
Kind of blows up. And this is a piece of rock.
Yeah,
right
very
here.
Sharp rock.
Yeah.
Hits the metal and causes sparks by rubbing against it hard.
And they've got that there so that it won't hurt the person beside of them,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, it's called a flash guard.
Yeah.
So it prevents the sparks from flying out to the next guy. So then the rest of the powder, you turn and you pour down this barrel here. And then they would take their ramrod out. They would have a musket ball at the bottom of this, and the rest of
I could make
the cartridge and the ball would be shoved in here with their thumb.
Sure, that's a great part.
And then they would pull this ramrod out,
Thank you.
and they would throw it down, kind of like that, push it down. They put this ramrod back, and then they'd be ready to fire. So then what they do then is they pull this back to full cock position. So it goes back as far as it can. And then this is the trigger. So when they're told to fire, they pull the trigger, and this will hit and create sparks and ignite the powder in the pan and ignite the musket. Hopefully. Hopefully it works. Sometimes it doesn't, because it depends on, if it hits and gives it enough spark, or it could be the weather related and stuff like that. So there's a couple different things that'll affect it, but that's pretty much how it fires. And they would do that about 3 times a minute, so it's really fast.
Well, thank you very much, Eric.
You're welcome.